all the buildup,
Yeah.
all of the all of the excitement, all of the anticipation. What a big old flat bunch of nothing. I'm
Well,
not.
my
It's
wife said
there
something
to
similar.
entertain me and
Yeah, my
all that.
wife said something similar. Let's see, I'm doing the math. What 42 points were scored in the game, so more
Yeah.
points later on than early. But if you had the under or would 3 field goals be kicked before a touchdown was scored? I mean, those are things that the NFL has incorporated in after all these years to make the game more interesting. You might have seen a lot of commercials for an outfit called DraftKings.
I
I thought,
did.
wow, man, are they promoting gambling on this game tonight?
Well, there's a couple of things about it. Oh yeah, Alabama beat Auburn in basketball at Evel Arena.
Oh, did they?
Um,
Okay. Wow.
I did
Thanks.
notice this. For one thing, this was just to catch everybody up in case you've been in a monastery or something over the weekend. And hey, what's going on? Seattle is the Super Bowl champion. All hail the Seahawks.
Yes, big parade coming, I bet.
29-13 over New England. That's 16 points. And it was, I believe, the worst 16-point beatdown I ever saw in my life. I mean, New England was never in that game. They were getting the snot knocked out of them all over the place. Collinsworth on TV was saying, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, where's he throwing that ball? Man, they're getting beat by a four-man blitz by a four-man rush, and you can't win if you get beat by a four-man rush. And they were getting beat by a four-man rush over and over and
Bama
over.
fan, you probably don't feel as bad about your offensive line today after watching that performance by New England last night. Because I saw guys getting beat, edge rushers too quick for a big fat tackle to be able to block. Yeah, if you're a Bama fan, you're going, somebody else has offensive line issues too.
We're not too far off. But
there
was never, even when, what was it? 6-0 at halftime, 9-0, something to nothing at halftime.
Whatever it was. I didn't win a quarter on my Super Bowl board. I mean, my numbers were so bad. It's terrible.
John says something about a 5. If you land on something, if it's got a 5, I don't know. But it was just a big bunch of nothing. Drake May is a really good quarterback. Hey, he almost went to that's not a thing anymore. He looked terrible. They did get a couple of touchdowns. It was late when they did it. Collinsworth kept bringing up, we've never had a shutout in the Super Bowl. Well, they averted that. I fell asleep a little bit in the second, not for long, but I sure did. I'm looking, I was saying, man, this is the Super Bowl. Seattle wins it 29-13 was the final score. And I did have a couple of questions. I mean, I am not, as you know, you guys don't ever ask me about, hey, did you see what so-and-so said on College Game Day? Or, man, did you hear what Randy Moss had to say on the Super Bowl? No, I'm not doing that. But I did tune in when the Super Bowl was supposed to kick off at 5:30.
Yes.
And they weren't even anywhere even close. Here's the deal. Did you notice this? First thing I saw was in the middle of the national anthem, which is sad because that national anthem was awesome. Charlie,
it was very good. 1 minute 50 seconds. 1 minute 50.8 seconds to be exact.
And it had to be exact because right whenever he had of the brave, the fighter jets go flying up like at the exact second on that.
Timing I'm thinking, is everything.
That is outstanding. And then,
then Barry, I got to tell you this. I mean, I feel like I'm getting old, but they started playing the national anthem, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Who's this guy? Never seen him." Oh, you've never seen this guy?
He's something.
No, never seen him.
I do like him. I remember him one time on the I guess it was the Jimmy Kimmel show. Anybody remember him?
Well, then I definitely didn't see him.
I think he's in. I think he's in Juneau, Alaska now, or something.
Okay, yeah.
But his bowl game just got axed. Well, anyway, Anyway, so he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel would have the guys in the band play a note, and he'd say, "Oh, that's G flat or whatever it is, such and such and so and so," and he would hit a tuning fork on a glass in the studio, and he'd say, "Oh, that's an F," whatever, all that kind of stuff. But he's a really good musician. I liked that. But then right after that, you had Collinsworth and my buddy Tarico up there. And they were talking a little bit. He said, "Now let's go down to the field and tend to some business." John, they did that. They had some very statuesque, very important looking woman dressed beautifully.
Yeah.
She had a mahogany, lacquered wooden box case. And I mean, she's like right here, like me right now. I mean, they had it full on her with the stadium in the background. She opened up the case as she's walking towards midfield, and there's the coin, right?
Yes.
And then, so it's all pomp and circumstance. I'm thinking, what is this? The coronation of King Henry VIII or something? And the referee, he comes up and he lightly takes the coin out of the case. And he shows it to the camera, flips it around 180 degrees, shows the other side to the camera, never leaves the camera frame. It's not that they ain't showing the crowd or they ain't showing the sky or anything like that. They're showing him the whole time as he walks to midfield with that coin in his hand. And then, gentlemen, congratulations on making Super Bowl 60. And then they flip the coin. I'm thinking, man, this is the Secret Service out here? What's this all about?
Very important. And they're good, Barry. Years and years ago, I found that very suspicious when the NFL was frowning so much about gambling. Now that's all they're promoting is gambling. Hey, you can go bet the first half of the Super Bowl here at DraftKings. I mean, so many commercials. And that's another thing. The commercials were terrible. There was one good one that I'll point out later. But yeah, it's all about that coin flip. I wondered years ago, why are we so interested in the coin flip? They don't show this in a regular season NFL game. Well, I'll tell you why. Because there was a gentleman right before kickoff last night, minutes before kickoff, in cash, bet $253,000. Why he bet $253,000, I don't know. But he bet $253,000 on the coin flip. He chose heads. It ended up heads. Guy won $253,000 on a flip of a coin. Maybe that's why they show it and are so make sure that they show it. Now, Joe Montana could have dressed a little nicer. I mean, Manning's got on a sport coat and tie.
Peyton always looks nice.
Yeah,
you had Adam Vinatieri, and then you had no, it wasn't Adam Vinatieri. It was somebody else. It was one of the older players out there. And then they had Joe, San Francisco legend, skin tight black pants, skin tight long sleeve T-shirt. I'm thinking, Joe, come on. But that was, I gotta think that in Super Bowl I, which wasn't even called the Super Bowl back then, right before the Chiefs and the Packers kicked off at the Coliseum, the referee Fred Smith like, "Hey, golly, guys, anybody got a quarter? Yeah, I got a penny, but I hate to use it. Somebody got a quarter, somebody tossed them a quarter, but okay, heads, all right, you got it, you kick, whatever." Now it looks like, they are transferring money at the Fed or something like that. That one
it is a production. The whole thing is a production, as a matter of fact. Did not watch the halftime show. Came in to eat dinner, and the wife put it on the Turning Point USA halftime show, which I understand had well over 5 million viewers when it was going on. I saw that earlier today.
I didn't know anything about it. I watched I seriously did. Olympic mixed curling. From Milan Cortina. It was Sweden versus the United States.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun because the girl curler for the United States was yelling at the guy to start sweeping. Sweep here, sweep here. I'm thinking that's
normally not the case.
But beforehand, right before they did that, Tarico says, well, obviously New England's got to make some adjustments. Don't forget, the halftime show is at least 3 to 3.5 to 4 times longer than a regular halftime.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, really?
It is.
And I mean, all the Bad Bunny stuff, I didn't see it. I kept checking. Is this still going on? Jeez, it's still going on. Right in the middle of the girl, throwing the stone on and curling. I'd say, man, is that what in the heck? Because they had it look like half of the San Francisco Metro out there on the field, and I'm thinking, there's no way they're going to get this thing started on.
Because there again, I was having dinner at halftime, getting that all together. Well, I wasn't. The wife was. I was just, can I help you? Can I get some napkins or something? What I don't get in your way.
I'll take care of the butter knives. Hey,
yeah. So I was kind of dealing with that. She says, put on this thing. I found it on, believe it or not, I did. I found it on YouTube. I was pretty proud of myself.
Look at you.
She was kind of paying attention to that. And NFL halftimes are short compared to a college halftime. I want to say they're like 10 minutes tops, where college is maybe 15, I think.
Yeah. It's awesome in the NFL.
Yeah, it's
10
quick.
minutes,
They're not messing
boom,
around.
Get out.
But these are a lot longer, obviously, because of the entertainment, if you want to call it entertainment. And Tirico also made the point, they had some pregame concerts and whatnot going on as well. I didn't know who that was. She was watching. I said, who are these people playing? Anyway, and I heard Tirico say but the team spent about an hour in the locker room from when they finished warming up to when they could come back out to get ready for the game because of all the pregame concerts and activities that were going on. So they're sitting there in the locker room just twiddling their thumb after they'd warmed up an hour earlier, which I thought was kind of odd. But it's all a show. It's all a TV production. The game, I think, is almost secondary at times, particularly when New England had to punt 8 of their first 9 possessions. That's really not what you're looking for. And you know what? I mean, I had this observation. I guess it was because New England punted the most, but I think it was the Seattle punter because the Seahawks punted a lot as well. I mean, this guy's all tatted up. I'm thinking, whoa.
Oh, Michael Dixon. He's the best punter in the NFL.
I can see a lineman or something like that, big burly guy tatted up, but a punter? I mean, who do you think you are? I mean, nobody knows who the punters are. Of course, I did think the punter might be the MVP of the game, him or the field goal kicker, as much kicking was going on. But, it was kind of if I didn't have my interest in other places like where numbers fell at the end of quarters and things like that into the game, I probably would have checked out.
I came close. Bob from Pike Road says, did you notice the Seahawks could powerfully run the football last night and all year? A drastic change for them since last year. Only difference is Grubb was OC in 2024, and now Grubb is OC in Titletown. For those people who whose memory doesn't go further past 5.5 years, he means Tuscaloosa. What kind of a look was that? Hey, we got rid of the offense coordinator. Look, here we go, win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of a you got to think Grubb maybe went, wow. Not publicly, but maybe privately. He looked at the wife or whatever and said, "Oh, it's not a good look, honey."
Yeah, if you ever end up
Super Bowl,
if you ever end up going back to Seattle just to visit, I don't know, family and friends or whatever, and they're like, "You, hang on, don't tell me you are." Golly, you look familiar. It ain't like he's missed in Seattle. I don't think he
is either. Also, another aspect about Seattle, which I've always been a fan, not so much. I mean, Seattle's a beautiful country, but they kind of whack up there. The lady that sang America the Beautiful, which I've always thought should be the national anthem.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you more about the United States than the national anthem does, but that's just a personal preference. Plus, I've always thought it's a very beautiful song. I always like that. I'm glad that they play that as well as the national anthem. That was good as well, but all in all, the game, not so much. But the sad thing about it, and we talked about this, Barry, the Monday or the Tuesday, because the game was on a Monday, the day after the college football national championship. Football is over. Well, after last night, football is really over till this fall or preseason. Don't forget the NFL preseason in August. But
do we go UFL? I mean, are we all of a sudden Birmingham Stallions fan under head coach, AJ McCarron? Does that?
I'm not gonna.
At all?
plan my day out watching a UFL game. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see it channel surfing, I'll stop for a minute. AJ McCarron is the new coach of the Birmingham Stallions, taking over for Skip Holtz. But to give you a yes or no answer, as they ask for on Law and Order, all I want is yes or no. Probably no.
Your
Probably
Honor,
not going to watch a ton of it, but
Your Honor, can you direct a witness to answer the question, yes or no?
As we go to break, Barry, I will answer this question when we return.
Yes. John, any time spent in the car in the driveway Saturday, that's from Chris the Bammer. He said, listening to Andy and what's his name? I would imagine so. It was a tight one, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
in a moment. The week's worth of programming has begun. I'll let you know this is the only day all week.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be in my little home studio in Troy. John is in his studio at his home base.
Holiday Inn Express this week?
It is Hilton Garden Inn.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Those are nice.
A couple of different spots I'll be this week. Longshore McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Start Something New sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's under 30 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers 12 grand off and Gladiators 16 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Start Something New sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 CDJR dealer. New Rams 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties 12 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valentine's means Marguerite's, and Marguerite's has everything the special person in your life wants. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and all shapes and sizes of diamonds. They have special gifts that will bring happiness and joy for decades and decades. For your convenience, Marguerite's is open 7 days a week. So drop by and pick out a gift that will surprise the Valentines in your life. Marguerite's is located at 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they make it. They really make it.
Barry McKnight here with Longshore's football in the background. Here he comes. Yeah, you got stuff going on here. It's the Monday live show of the program where we're saying goodbye to the sport of football until it rolls back again, these many months from now. We've already had recruiting taken away from us. Will spring practice float anybody's boat?
It didn't float my boat 30 years ago. Certainly not now.
The spring game at Auburn, the Auburn A-Day game, will be April the 18th, and then they open up the season on September 5th and with a home game in Atlanta against Baylor. For Alabama, they will have their A-Day game around the same time. They open up in Tuscaloosa against East Carolina September the 5th. I like September starts after Labor Day, but it just seems like a long time between now and then. Later on, this is a tradition here on Longshore and McKnight. Probably around Memorial Day, the state of the SEC report. We'll go through all of that, but we've still got so much. Baseball hasn't even started. So much more basketball left. Oh, basketball? Somebody mentioned basketball?
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. I didn't watch 1 second of the Auburn-Alabama basketball game because that was on ESPN2, and it was decided right at the last moment, and it cut into my broadcast where Troy playing on ESPN2 wins over Akron by double digits. Akron, nobody knows this, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament. They are a top 50 program in the country this year in terms of Ned and Ken Palm and everything. Troy looked terrific. Big
Well, I will say
presence
this,
on
Barry.
ESPN2. It was great.
And I was correct. Had to go to ESPN News to watch the first part of the game because the Bama game went long.
You say the Auburn game went long? Yeah.
Timeouts that were called toward the latter part of the game. So I was able to flip back and forth. And I will say, Akron jumped out to a pretty good lead.
They did. They were up 9-0. Yeah.
And I went, ooh, this isn't looking good for the Trojans. But came back to win it, which is the most important. But I thought, wow, Akron's hot early.
It was a full day of ESPN2 SEC basketball. I watched a little bit of Arkansas and Mississippi State from Starkville. Man, there was nothing to that. Arkansas ends up winning it big. And then they had anyway. The Iron Bowl.
The game that I guess our chat board, our River Region Straw chat line has been commenting on. I watched the game and I spent a little time in the driveway, and it was informative and entertaining.
Yes.
Didn't hear a lot of comments about officiating, which is kind of unusual. Just some lowering of the voice and the excitement level being kind of dialed down a little bit in the latter part of the broadcast, which makes sense. I get that. I understand.
Here's the bones of this thing. Auburn led at halftime, raucous crowd, G League reject. They were on old Charles Bediako. He had to have some pretty thick skin.
You do. That's
that
true.
Game. But Auburn led at halftime. Life was good. You know, the birds were singing. The air smelled sweet to all the people in there.
Yep.
And then Auburn could not stop them in the second half. Alabama scored. All right. Auburn had a lead at halftime. At home, they scored 51 in the second half. Auburn scored 51 points in the second half with the lead.
Yes.
And they still lost.
You know, man, I want to say all
59
by like 9 or 10 points with like a minute or something to go, maybe 2 minutes. I don't think it was that much, but Alabama was able to cut it to, I think, a 2-point lead at halftime. So
it was 4. It was 4 at half.
Kind of a flurry of scoring there toward the end to kind of cut that deficit a little bit.
Get a little momentum. 59 points for Alabama in the second half. 59. Auburn could not stop them. Got to be kind of a, shootout between Tahad Pettiford for Auburn, who played great. He had 25. LeBaron Philon had 25 for Alabama. He was terrific. Amari Allen, who's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to be an NBA player. He ended up with 17. And it was the former, I'm just going to use John's term. It was the former Aub, Aiden Holloway, who had the big, I think, 4-point play at the very end. And Alabama wins it 96-92. After the game, somebody asked Nate Oates about the crowd. He says, well, they were pretty quiet when it was over.
59 points in the second half, Barry. 54% from the field, 52% from three-point line. But this stat right here, and I'm not a big stat guy, but this one really caught my eye because I'm a big stickler about this. 87% from the free throw line. You probably heard the story of the day that I was coaching my daughter's team in Y-ball, and she could not make a free throw.
20
so later that afternoon, we went to the Southeast Y. We were the only people in the gym. I said, we're not leaving until you make 100 free throws. Not in a row, just got to make 100. It took a minute. She got it done. Free throws were huge, 87% from the line. I think that was the difference.
That is a difference. That is a difference. I've kept track. This is the third time John's mentioned his daughter's free throw practice that day during basketball. The over-under is 6. Just in case you're wondering, just for kicks and giggles. Bediako off the bench, didn't start.
Yep.
He played 22 minutes, 5 for 5 from the floor. 3 rebounds.
Not
He
bad.
ended up with 12 points. He was a factor, not a huge factor, but he was a factor. And a little bit of a tip of the cap to him for, shooting that well, playing that efficiently. He's been pretty efficient with everybody just on his neck the whole game. Bama Pride John Dent says, someone on last Friday's show said that Auburn basketball would blow Bama out. Well, what happened with that? I don't know of anybody. We asked Ralph. Well, I don't think so.
Yes, I saw the somebody claimed to know who that was. I can't recall exactly who said that on the River Region Strong chat line. I don't believe it was me. Blown out, but
me neither. Goodness.
I was asked by Lindsey Bonner on CBS 8 who I thought would win, and I thought, well, I think Auburn's going to win. It's at home and
it's big,
tough crowd, and Bama's coming off an emotional win midweek, which I actually heard about yesterday. Had a nice lady said, you said Auburn was going to win. I said, look, we just got out of church. Can you give me a break? I mean, wow, you're already on my case. Jeez.
Give me a moment to reflect on the pastor's message.
But I was a little surprised. I thought Auburn would win the game. Auburn looked a little flat. I just thought they didn't look to be maybe what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say they were going through the motions, but I've seen them play better. I'll put it that way.
Well, they can score it. I mean, Pettiford had 25. Keyshawn Hall, who's fantastic, had 24. But, man, I've said it like twice already, they could not get a stop when they needed to. Part of it's Alabama is really good offensively. Part of it was maybe what you said. Maybe they were kind of worn out at the very end or something. I don't know. But here's the question everybody was wondering about ahead of time. The big Friday hearing for Bediako. The big Friday hearing. Everybody presented what they wanted to present. Sankey's affidavit was entered in saying, please don't let that guy play. Come on. I know he's in our league and all that, but man, that's going to be the biggest pain in the rear end and all that kind of stuff. They had, I don't know. I can't read the legalese of it, but Bediako's lawyers said that he would miss out on educational and income opportunities if he was not allowed to play.
Yeah.
Well, duh. Does he deserve those the educational opportunities? You can pay for himself. I mean, there's a lot of people who have educational opportunities on scholarship that have never thrown a basketball towards a hoop in their life. But the judge says, okay, that sounds good. I'll make a ruling next week. So or some other time.
After this Auburn game.
So Bediako was able to play.
Yeah.
I still don't know what will happen on this. The basis of the Bediako team is that, hey, the NCAA let other guys play, who had gotten paid for playing basketball. But again, the NCAA said this guy, he was a student athlete at an NCAA institution, and he left and forfeited his scholarship by signing with a professional team, a G League team. And now he wants to come back. That's the first time that's ever happened. And, basically what Sankey and all of the people who are issuing affidavits in this is that, man, if you do this,
well, they know
everybody's going to be pro.
Sure they are.
Nobody's going to be able to. I mean, you might as well just just call it an NBA minor league team and just put Baylor or Eastern Kentucky.
And it's interesting. And a little bit later in the show, I want to get into something that's we're really dealing with a different sport. But the voice of college football, Kirk Herbstreit, had some comments about college football and where he thinks it needs to be headed. And it kind of parallels with what's going on in basketball. It's all intercollegiate athletics, but it is a mess. I've said it many times. Personally, I don't really like it. I'm not staying awake at night staring at the ceiling, talking to myself about it, going, wow, I can't believe Charles Bediako's playing. But I mean, personally, I just don't really like it because, it is college athletics, but it is changing. But I do think it's an issue with the NCAA. They've got an issue that they've got to get buttoned up, and people have found a way to get around it. And until the NCAA gets their house in order, I think you're going to have some problems here. And there again, personally, I don't like it. But on the other side, I don't care if you played in college or not. If you've been paid, as Bediako has, he signed a contract similar to these guys that played in China or in Europe or wherever they played. They were making money for playing basketball. I believe that's called a professional.
Yes.
But they're playing at other places, and I strongly believe if this goes in Charles Bediako's favor, you're going to have a lot of other programs doing the same things Nate Oates has done, and I think Greg Sankey knows that. I think a lot of people in sports know it, and they certainly don't want that to happen.
And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just painting a scenario here. If the judge this afternoon comes up with a ruling and says, we rule in favor of Bediako because of the precedent the NCAA has said, he makes that this afternoon, tonight, or first thing in the morning, you're going to have a flurry of tweets and university announcements. The University of North Carolina has announced the signing of Antonio Baycott, or, some of the other guys out there. North Carolina State announces the signing of 3-year G League players. You're going to have dozens of those all over the country. And here we are, John. It's getting to mid-February. We know the good teams by now out there. Arizona and Michigan, and we know all those. That's gonna knock everything sideways. Everybody's going to add 1 or 2 players to their roster in mid-February when we're talking March Madness. It's going to be an absolute mess.
It is. I'm with you. There again, I think it just goes back to all of college athletics. Needs to be rinse, spend, and sanitized. I mean, it's just, we got to make some changes here. I've been preaching for it for months and months now. I'm tired of the talk. I'm ready for some action. And I mean, it goes back there to some degree. I mean, there's been so many changes. I mean, I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams that a player could be playing basketball and getting a lot of minutes, a big contributor at Auburn, and in the snap of a finger, he's now got on a Crimson jersey playing for Alabama and still a big contributor. I would have never thought that I would see that. I mean, back in the day, if you left a program, you had to sit out a year. Now it's like, I don't like it. I'm going to go play for this team tomorrow. What? You can't do that. Yeah, you can.
Can now, because the court doesn't. The court's doing the NCAA's job on this. I remember, final closing thing before we go to break. John and I were guests to speak at the Touchdown Club in Selma one year. Spoke together at an event they had right on the Alabama River, right on the bluff. It was great.
Yeah, it sure was. Beautiful.
And, had a Q&A session after John and I did our little thing. And somebody was asking what we thought about that. And I knew there was a couple of college players that were in the audience because John and I recognized them. We had talked with them. And they asked about, what do you think about players getting a stipend? Remember when that was the thing? Just a stipend. And John and I for years had talked about it. Well, it seems like they're exploiting student athletes when the school is making thousands and millions of dollars off of selling a 34 Auburn jersey or a 2 Auburn jersey or a 22 Alabama jersey. And those players that are making that money for that university can't get enough money together to buy a pizza to take the girlfriend out on Saturday night. That doesn't seem fair. Give them some money. Give them a certain amount. Not just living expenses, but maybe a little bit more. We think they deserve that. And immediately when that was done, all of a sudden, millions of dollars for this guy, millions of dollars for that guy. We'll give him a country club. We'll give him a car. We'll give him this. We'll give him, millions and millions. And John and I immediately were like, whoa. I mean, that escalated quickly. And now what seemed to be a good, sensible, equitable idea has gotten absolutely nuts. And the main reason why these things are happening is because these attorneys, and I do think it's all attorney and money driven, are saying, son, man, that won't stick up in court. Let me fight for you in court. I know that you've already signed away your rights to play college basketball, but I think I can get that overturned in court and you can come back and play and make millions of dollars. That's where we are right now. And sooner or later, somebody has got to pull back the reins a little bit on all this.
I'm totally with you. There again, it goes back to I'm tired of the talk. I'm ready for some action. Maybe I'm unfair in placing it at the feet of Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey, but they are the two most powerful people in college athletics. I'm tired of the talk. Let's get something going. I think the fans want it. I think the fans are confused. I think they're wearing a little thin.
Word. I think that's a good word.
I think they're wearing thin. Do I want to spend my time and money and devote basically a weekend to go to Auburn or Tuscaloosa or Troy, wherever I'm going? Do I want to continue to do that?
Final thing. I lied. Final thing. One more thing. Bob from Pike Road brings up a good point. He's an attorney. He says, something tells me the judge may just sit on the temporary restraining order issue until April. And then say the issue is moot and never actually rule. Just a thought, RTR. Yeah, the judge in this deal may say, I'm close to a decision. I'm close. Give me a little while longer. Ooh. Alabama gets put out in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Bediako's season and college career is over. Well, I don't have to rule on this anymore because the issue is no longer an issue because he's no longer a student athlete at the University of Alabama. That could be it. He could later on say, hey, what are you mad at me for? I didn't rule.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
I wanted to make sure I got the right decision, and it's just taking me a minute to come to it.
My judicious mind was working on all possible angles.
There was one other thing, and when we get back from our next break, that kind of surprised me. Saturday evening, late Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, I'll put it that way. I was a little taken aback.
Oh, good phrase. Taken aback. Don't you hate being taken aback? Has aback ever been used in anything except
taking a front?
Aback. I don't get it. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Monday with Longshore McKnight. We greatly appreciate you being a part of what we do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your business associates, your relatives, your kids, whomever it might be. about what we do here with our friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Video content there, write up about the show each and every afternoon. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes, Instagram, all over the place. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep.
We grow because of you. And we could not thank you enough.
The king of the pre-commercial break tease.
Yeah.
As everybody, Dennis Mitchell says, John, don't be taken aback.
Don't be taken aback.
Bama Pride says, taken aback.
Taken aback.
Cousin to, he was beside himself. Never understood that one either.
Yes, he was beside himself. So,
John was taken aback.
Bama wins the game Saturday late afternoon over in Auburn.
Yeah. The trees are safe.
It was probably, let's face it. It was kind of a nice little shot in the arm for the Bama fans. Hey, look at that. Hey, we won the basketball game.
It's a game between two unranked teams.
Yeah. And I wondered during the week leading up to it, is Saturday really a big deal? Is it, in the grand scheme of things, is it a big deal? I guess it helps, I don't know, for postseason, things of that nature. 2 wins this week. Of course, A&M gets blown out Saturday by Florida. Not that means anything, but throwing it out there.
Last week we were talking about it because Alabama was playing A&M.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, they are leading the league right now. They're like 17-4 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're tops in the league right now, buckyball and all that.
Buckyball.
Why isn't anybody giving Texas A&M any love on this? And now a week later, I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
They're not that good.
I mean, it's kind of like Lady All basketball. I think they beat Christy Curry's Lady Tide earlier this year, and then they get blown out yesterday by like 30-something points. So, it was fun and happy then, but now that reality's hit, it's like, oh, wow, man, I don't know why I was so geeked up about that win in women's basketball. But anyway.
John with a little women's basketball smack.
Well, I think I read a section of a column from a late, great columnist that had something in that piece on a Monday Musings several weeks ago. And I went, really? Did they play? Oh, well, I know now they did, and I know who won. But anyway, as the game started ticking to triple zeros, okay, maybe did I ease out and listen to what Andy and that other guy had to say?
Randall Dickey. Come on, people.
Randall Dickey, yeah. What is his association with Auburn?
You've asked me that at least 5 times.
Yeah. And
yeah, obviously I'm going to ask me 5 more because I'm going to tell you now, and in a week you're going to ask me again.
Did he play at Auburn?
He was a former coach, assistant, and all that. Yes.
Look, I know replacing Damian Fishback is hard. I get it. That guy was really good.
He was great.
It's about the only color analyst I can remember. Sonny. Yeah, how can I forget Sonny?
Oh, my gosh. Sonny was one of my favorites.
Sonny was the Stan White of the Auburn basketball broadcast.
Everybody loves Sonny. Even the people who don't like Auburn like Sonny.
If only Stan could have been doing part of the broadcast Saturday afternoon, that would have been entertaining.
John, you've got to give that up, man. You've got to give that up.
Yeah.
You'll hear this at least 10 times during the calendar year. Jason Campbell's nice guy.
Yeah.
Great quarterback, played in the NFL, but I miss Stan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was, I listened, and it was, I'll say this, I've heard better in terms of criticism of the officials or, Nate Oates shouldn't be doing this or whatever.
They always let Nate Oates do so-and-so and get away with it. And
yeah. He's out on the floor. He shouldn't be there, whatever. So I didn't hear a lot of that. I think they did quicker than normal go to a Dixie Crystal scoreboard update or a Yellowwood commercial or something. I mean.
Oh, yeah, when Holloway made that play at the end to win it.
commercials. So it was the most entertaining driveway session I've ever had. But what really struck me, Barry,
Okay. All right.
and maybe this is good for Bama fan out there, because they've faced maybe reality. They've tried to maybe, and I'm putting maybes in here, maybe wanted to accept the fact that that was kind of a big win. And I say this because I was with a group of people Saturday night at a function, and I had a lot more than normal. We're going to make sure I phrase this correctly. Watch a lot of Law and Order, phrasing it, coming up to me going, wow, what about that win today? Hey, man, did you see the end of that basketball game? Wow, how about that? Over there makes it even bigger. I mean, men and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is unusual. It's like, A, they normally don't. B, don't care. C, it's just the Aubs, big deal. But it was different. I thought, is there something in the drinks here tonight? Or
no, what it is Alabama. This is actually, regardless of what happens with Betty Arco, regardless.
Or irregardless.
I
love that word,
which is not a word. Regardless of what happens with Betty Arco.
Yeah.
This has gotten Alabama basketball some juice amongst its own fans. It's us against the world, you know?
I mean, Dickie V's even talking about he doesn't like it during the broadcast.
Man, he went on that pretty good on the telecast. And that's 2 straight times that they have dogged Alabama on there with Dickie V on the broadcast the week before. But everybody knows that if this was going on at Tennessee, or if this was going on at Auburn or LSU, Bama fans would be on it and would be screaming about it. But it's our guy,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't like it, but if it helps us win, it's okay, and all this stuff. What it has done, it has galvanized the Alabama community, not just the small basketball community, but the entire community of us against the world.
Yeah.
So it's had that value out there to it. I look at the Aubs. They were whining and crying about Betty Arco, and now here, we end up beating them there. That's and now maybe Alabama will be ranked. Right now, our buddy Jerry Palm.
Yeah.
Who we got to get on soon. We're getting to that point.
Oh, yeah.
He's got Alabama projected as a 4 seed in the West.
Wow.
Where they would, the matchup right now with the tournament would be played tomorrow, according to Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com, is Alabama would be a 4 seed and would play Hawaii. A 13 seed. Okay. Auburn is projected. Where did I see Auburn? Auburn was in. Oh, yeah. They are projected as an 8 seed. Auburn is in as an 8 seed in the East Regional, which is Duke. And Auburn would play Wisconsin, which makes me want to tear my hair out. Why is everybody always trying to hook Auburn up with Wisconsin
come on.
in the postseason?
Yeah,
they play them in football, in bowl games all the time.
Yep.
It's like, your buddy who's all right. He's good. He's cool. He'll pick up a check now and again, but he's single, and he's been hurt before. You want to set him up with somebody solid that one. And you're like, hey, I got this friend. She's great. Her name's Wisconsin. Hey, why don't I go out? Hey, I've gone out with her before. Remember, you asked me you made me go out with her on that blind date, and it was all right, And then later on, you had me go take her to the movies. And it was, stop trying to set me up with Wisconsin. She's okay, but geez.
There's a history there.
And you give me somebody else? Gosh, give me
a history there. Auburn and Wisconsin.
So you're both in right now, which is all anybody cares about.
True. You're right. But we got some regular season games to play, SEC tournament action as well before
the way,
CAA tournament gets here.
They've got the Troy Trojans in.
Oh, good.
In the South Regional. Right now, according to Jerry Palm, as a 13 seed against Gonzaga.
Ooh.
who took it on the chin the other day.
Where will that game be played?
They didn't say.
I don't know
he
yet.
Didn't have that, but he just has the projection.
So I'm trying to there again get an answer here, and maybe some of our Bama loyalists and Auburn loyalists can chime in too, please.
Okay.
On our River Region Straw chat line.
Yes.
Was it just me? Were the stars aligned? Was it just an unusual circumstance that I had multiple people, more than 5, start a conversation with me Saturday night? Hey, how about that basketball game? Hey, did you see that game today? Hey, it's pretty cool beating the Albs over there. Even get a little bit more juice. You see that crowd at the end of the game? They were stunned. They were in shock. They were all ready to storm the court and roll Toomer's corner, and it didn't go their way, and giving Betty Yako hell before the game started, heck, during the game as well. And, I mean, after a while, I'm thinking, wait a minute. Did nobody have anything else to do today? I mean,
on Super Bowl Sunday, we get this from Bob from Pike Road. The Lee County Losers have now lost so much that the disaster in the past year has destroyed the solid home field advantage in both Saban-Hare Stadium and Nate Oates Arena, both on AU's campus. RTR, a very average Bama basketball team, projected 4 seed, just went into Nate Oates Arena in Auburn and beat Lee County and the 9,000 crazies in the stands. I guess I should feel bad for Lee County, but I don't. LOL, RTR. That's what this is the thing. This is why it is. You have saved yourself here because all of those friends you were mentioning that came up to you at that function, they're all
friends
saying,
and associates.
See, Marge, I told you we shouldn't have said anything to Longshore. Now here he is giving away our secrets live on the air. But honey, he didn't mention our names.
I didn't mention any names.
All right,
That's
no
true.
names. But man, we're supposed to be united on the front that we don't care about the Aubs in anything. They're just an amusing little sidelight that the legislature forced. And here he is quoting us, although he didn't use our name, by saying how great it is to beat Auburn and what a great thing it was. Hey, did you see it? What about that Auburn game? It's not supposed to seem like they're important to us, and I wish he would just never have even said anything. I wish I'd never told him.
That's what really surprised me. Is I normally don't hear that. It's like, just another win, no big deal. So what? But I got the sense that, and there again, it was not long after the game went final, so it was fresh on people's minds. It was a way to start a conversation. If you're at a function or a party, you're looking for some way to get the conversation started. Why not go, hey, what about that game today? So I get that. Timing is everything.
Or if you're Ramona at Ms. Wiley's party when Ernest T. Bass comes in, you can always talk about, I heard it's going to rain tomorrow. No, it rained yesterday. I know, I was right there in it. That kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of the rain, which is boring, hey, what'd you think about that bass? It's kind of a safe, you're in a safe place.
Yeah.
There are no Aubs around. So, hey, what'd you think? Well, I thought it stunk. Oh, you're an Aub.
So I did have some on the VIP River Region Straw text line. Some of my operatives in the field sent me some screenshots of the comments on Auburn message boards, which was very entertaining. We should have never let Holloway go. I can't believe we let that guy go. Blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the other, and then whining about this was our chance to humiliate the Bammers, and they came in here and whipped us. So that was entertaining. I also got a screenshot of the student section. Some company, I think they're a pest control company, handed out hats. And I've never seen a hat quite like this. It was a blue, looks like a cartoon character hat.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure the significance of it, but boy, the students loved them. It was a big, big success with the Auburn students. They were blue.
Yeah.
So they were with their orange.
Were they like
t-shirt.
Auburn blue?
Not really. They were more like Florida blue. I did notice the blue tint was a little different.
If they had been Auburn blue, like navy blue, then that would have gotten them a little bit desensitized to thinking, these hard hats, these blue, hard, shiny hats, they look good on our football team.
Yeah.
Missed.
And I don't know. I want to say there was a video game back in the day, when you like Pac-Man back in that, when you had to put a quarter in the machine. there was some type of video character or cartoon character that wore these blue hats, but I can't think of
Mario.
it. But anyway, whoever handed those out, the students loved them because they seemed to all have them on.
This is what I love on our chat line. Again, Bob from Pike Road, God love him. His first 4 tweets were, oh, it's so great to beat the Lee County losers, Nate Oates Arena. Oh, I tell you, this is wonderful. Look at those obs, all this kind of stuff. Like the first 3 or 4 chats. We get a response here. Dewey Oxberger says it was Bama's Super Bowl of basketball. Good for the Gumps. They squeaked out a win against a first-year head coach with only 1 returning player. Here's your cookie.
There you go. That's what I want to say.
Bob has the audacity to say, Oxberger, only Auburn is totally consumed with Big Bro from Titletown. Bama focuses on championships, always have, always will, RTR. That's great from Bob, but again, Bob, you look at the history of it all. This is earlier today. It's never a bad day to whoop the Lee County losers in Lee County, RTR, and it just never gets old. What a glorious day Saturday afternoon was. Bama is undefeated against Little Bro again, RTR. And then Bob later on says, all we're focused on is championships. We don't care about Auburn. There's like 6 of these here, Bob.
I want to correct something. And it's funny that Bob uses Lee County because one of the people that came up to me Saturday night actually referenced that. Man, isn't it great when they went over to Lee County? And I went, really? You know, Bob? But I just don't hear that very often, the Lee County thing. I thought that was an interesting part of it.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, Barry, and I just touched on it a moment ago, you might have to look this up.
Or you.
But I think, did not the Lady Albs beat the Lady Tide in basketball about 3 weeks ago?
A couple of weeks, yes.
Yeah.
Now, they're not the Lady Albs and they're not the Lady Tide. Yeah, they're the Tigers and the Crimson
Tide. And I know maybe
like
people just look at football and men's basketball, which is, you shouldn't do that. They all participate and play for their institution.
I hate that.
Yeah. And I guess baseball is coming up.
This week.
This
Friday.
Week, yes. I don't know when Auburn and Alabama play baseball.
There's a shocker.
I'm not sure many Bama fans know either. Heck,
they're not really sure about basketball.
I couldn't even tell you who the Bama baseball coach is. Barry Schallenberger or something.
Really?
Who is?
And don't tell me Brad Bohannon. He got the boot. His name's Rob Vaughn.
Oh, I thought that guy was in Major League.
That's Ricky Vaughn. No relation.
Ricky Vaughn.
Right. Anyway, so John. Yeah, baseball, I guess. Yeah. Barry Schallenberger, I got to say, he may have retired like in 1993. I don't think in the nearly 30 years that John and I have been together, Barry Schallenberger was ever the coach in that our entire history together. I mean, you had Jim Wells, you had Mitch Gaspard, you had Brad Bohannon, you've got Rob Vaughn, and John's still like, Barry Schallenberger?
Rob Vaughn. I did not know that. Now, Jim Wells rings a bell, Barry. We interviewed Jim Wells multiple times, so I do remember him. So Barry Schallenberger was the coach when I was in school in the 80s.
There you go. And John says, is he still the coach? John's in his 60s now, and he says, I got to go Barry Schallenberger.
I got to admit, I didn't go to a lot of Bama baseball games. We went to a few, and we'd sit in the outfield in the back of a guy's pickup truck and drink beer. Back when you weren't supposed to do stuff like that. That's why we did it.
Barry Schallenberger is 85 years old now.
Is he really? And still with us?
He's still around.
Oh, good for Barry.
Barry was the Alabama baseball coach up until 1994.
Oh, man. Wow.
1994.
My first child wasn't even born then.
But it's still, Barry Schallenberger, the coach.
Wow. Jeez. Rick Moody's still, it's Christy Curry. I know Rick Moody's not the basketball coach.
John actually takes that as he's showing out right now. He thinks he's like, I know, of course. Oh, it's not Rick Moody. No, it's not Rick Moody. Hadn't been Rick
Well,
Moody.
I know that. I know Joe Champy's not the Lady All basketball coach anymore. And then they had another coach after him, a female that had 3 names. I do remember that. Like a Derek Owens Lassick, but her name was Flournoy or maybe something.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. That was her. But they had a couple of them up above and around. Right now, it's a guy named Larry Vickers, and he's in his first year.
If you hadn't have said that, I could have sat here all day and not come up with Larry's name. But
no, you would say, and you would have had this. Larry Vickers, any relation to Neil? Ho, ho, ho. You know.
I miss that guy. Neil, he was great.
Let's take a break. We're at the top of the hour. John was bragging that he knew that Rick Moody wasn't the Alabama women's basketball coach anymore.
Yeah.
Because he knows that 95% of his friends did not have that knowledge, but John knows he's not.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Bama Pride says I need to take some Prevagen. Come on. What? There's some
I don't even know what that is.
I think it's like a memory drug or something. Helps you remember stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, I do not know who the equestrian coach is, but I do know the guy.
Greg Williams.
Alabama
doesn't have an equestrian.
So on the tip of my tongue, the swimming and diving coach that won multiple national championships that a former athletic director ran was named
give him a moment.
David Marsh. How about that one?
David was a buddy of mine. We went to church together.
How did I pull
the athletic director didn't run him. He allowed him to run.
Oh, similar to Bill Curry leaving Alabama.
Yeah, they allowed him to leave Alabama.
Yeah. Let's take a break. The only difference is Bill Curry didn't win multiple national titles. Matter of fact, Bill Curry could never beat Auburn. Not that that had anything to do with it.
But John figured it was worthy to mention. Funny how that works. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Hour number 2 rolls on in a moment with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Yep. How would you like to be a big winner? Victoryland, the more you visit, the better your chances of winning for the big cash and BMW giveaway later this month. Victoryland, 777 Casino in Shorter, Alabama, open 24/7, 365. I mentioned in the first hour, Barry, and I know this is a subject that, well, we don't see eye to eye on, which is normally the case with most subjects now that I think about it. But college football analyst and mouthpiece Kirk Herbstreit was out at the Super Bowl. I don't know if he was at the game last night, but he was out there prior to the game. And made several stops in the media area, Radio Row and whatnot. It was interviewed, and the state of college athletics came up, and Kirk talked a lot about it. And he made a comment that really is something that I've been in favor of for a long, long time. And he basically said that college athletics, they need to break away. College football particularly, but, it's all one big happy family. It's not just football, I'm told. It's all the other sports.
Yes.
And I know it's a sensitive subject and some people don't like it. But I do think there's a lot of talk about it, and I think we could go this route. There again, I didn't think we would have multiple people able to transfer multiple times. I didn't think we'd be talking about multi-million-dollar NIL deals. I certainly didn't think we'd see a day when a former G Leaguer was back playing college basketball. I mean, there's a lot of crazy things going on. I'm an old school guy. I like it the way it used to be, but it's not coming back. And Herb Street said, and I quote, I think the Power Four needs to break away, create their own world, create their own governing body, allow the group of four to create their own world, allow them to have their own playoff, much like the FCS in Division 2 and 3, just to create a few level, which would be the Power Four. Let's create the new governing body. Let's put in a commissioner. If we need to unionize the players to allow them to create a CBA to avoid the antitrust laws, make the rules, come to an agreement like the NFL does on both sides. A split from the Power Four leagues would mean that the teams from the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and SEC, along with Notre Dame, can't forget them, play their own level of football, while leagues like the Mountain West American Sun Belt and others will have their own league. There again, no, people don't like that. Some people do, some people don't. But I think I will say that it wouldn't surprise me that in some time period and not so long, not so distant future, we might be there.
What? I don't agree with it on several levels. Number one, how would you work it? I mean, these schools have an existing contract. They've signed deals as membership of the NCAA. How would that work?
Well,
would they get together and as a group say, we now are leaving the NCAA and we're doing whatever we want to? But we'd like to be able to keep our basketball teams and our volleyball teams and our baseball teams and everything in the NCAA. Are you guys cool with that? They'll never be cool with that. They'll never. You're either an NCAA member or you're not.
Yeah, I think
you can't pick and choose what
statement that he makes. We need to break away. That tells me they want to leave the NCAA, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are not happy with the NCAA, don't believe that they're really, relevant anymore. They don't seem to be able to mind their own store, much less the stores of the members of the NCAA. Break away, have their own league, their own commissioner, do their own thing. I think the TV networks would be behind it and give them the revenue that they need to be able to do that. I mean, we're kind of in the Wild West right now. And you hear people all the time talk about, well, does the NCAA really enforce anything? I mean, you hear these murmurs of coaches saying, man, we're not worried about getting in trouble. I mean, the NCAA we're not doing anything.
So you'll have the ACC where you'll have, again, Stanford playing volleyball at NC State and everything, except you'll have, you've got to foot all that stuff yourself. And if it's the wild, wild west with the NCAA, the lawyers won't care. If all of a sudden it's a smaller group, they're still going to, you'll have absolute 100% professional. Forget all this semi-pro stuff. You'll have people that will just simply be wearing the Arizona State jersey that have a thing to do with Arizona State. It's just Arizona State is paying those people to do that. Number two,
Well, I think we have that in some degree right now.
to a degree, yeah, but at least, these people, they're going to school, they're taking classes and everything. Later on, if things go the way they're continuing to go, they're not even going to have that. Look, we're just paying this guy, he'll come in twice a week, put on our basketball uniform and play, and then let's go.
There's
Also,
a lot of people that are saying that's going on right now. And I wonder how many of these athletes are there again, not that there's anything against it, are actually going into a classroom, or are they all doing it online? Are they
Online
really getting the college experience that most all other students are getting? Or are they getting a
college
preferential college experience?
Believe me, all other students are taking online courses as well. Bill Gates said this.
Well, they are, but they're going to classes as well. I wonder how many classes these athletes are going to. They actually walking into a building, sitting at a desk, listening to a lecture, taking notes, taking a test in a classroom. Do they do that anymore?
The ratio of athletes going to in-person classes and online classes is probably just about the same as regular students going online classes and regular classes. They're not all that different, if at all.
Why are they continuing to build classrooms on college campuses?
I'm telling you, it's changing. Bill Gates said this years ago that the entire business or the entire look of college is going to change. It's going to change fundamentally, and it is. There are certainly gosh, I love I'm not advocating this at all. I mean, I love being, on campus and all that, but I'm just saying that's the way it is.
Well, if college goes to the world of just looking at a computer screen and never walking across the quad or never walking into a class or a biology lab or whatever, that's the way it goes. I'm not in college anymore, so my dog's not in the fight.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are people who get college degrees right now, online from places they've never been to, I
currently have a son that's in college. The vast majority of his classes are in a traditional classroom.
Good. I like that.
Doesn't, to my knowledge, do much on his computer, but some might. But
yeah,
back to the original statement. There's things about college athletics I don't like. I don't really, the multiple transferring in the NIL and all that kind of stuff, the loyalty to a program. I mean, I know I'm sounding like an old fuddy-duddy. Spending 3-4 years on a college team and working your way up, and your fans are able to follow you through your college career. I get it. Those days are over. But I also don't like the financial aspects of it either. It's a multi-million, billion-dollar business, which it's supposed to be amateur. And in the business world, you're looking to do whatever you can to maximize your profits, to grow your business, to make it successful. And I think the Power Four have realized we're holding ourselves back by letting all these other conferences hang around with us. We need to go do our own thing. They go do their thing. We get a commissioner. We get a guy to run it all. We break away from the NCAA. And is it NFL light? Yeah, it is, because you're playing 12 games against 12 quality opponents. There's no more East Carolinas or whoever in the world Alabama's opening up with. There are no more Mercers. All that junk over, done with. Personally, I don't mind that because I like the best matchups each and every week I can get. But what Herb Street is saying, I think that's where we're headed.
At some point, the universities are going to have to look. And again, for a lot of you people out there, the university is a football team. Hey, little Billy, do you like Alabama? Yes, sir. Roll Tide. What is Alabama? It's a football team. The university is bricks and mortar, and it is classes offering. Last week I interviewed somebody for our podcast from the Department of Environmental and biological sciences at Troy.
Uh-huh.
The week before, I interviewed somebody in political science. They've got offices, it smells like tobacco and peppermints in there, all that kind of stuff. That's a university at some point. But then again, you can get a degree, a graduate degree at Troy that's online only. You can get degrees all over the place in a lot of different things that are online only. It's changing. It's available now, and it's a financially viable model, but it's still a university. At some point, that biology professor, that environmental sciences professor, that political science professor, and his dean and his provost and his university president are going to say, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This isn't even college anymore. Are we educating these people? This whole thing began as an amusing sidelight to allow our students to participate in rigorous, strenuous, vigorous athletic activity. And now these people aren't even associated with our university. They're just wearing our name. At some point, somebody's going to have to say, look, we don't need to professionalize all of it. We're still a college, right?
But
somebody sooner or later is going to have to say, okay, we've gone about as far as we can on this track. Let's not lose sight of who and what we are.
So do you think we're going to hit the rewind button and we're going to go back to that? I certainly don't see that happening.
No.
I think the genie's out of the bottle, and there's a lot of things that again, a lot of talk and not a lot of action. And probably, the powers that be see it. They're not in a rush to make it happen. But I just don't see how we're going to turn things back and maybe settle it down a little bit. I think we're past that, way past it.
There's a difference between all the NIL money, all the revenue share, all the TV, all the stuff that's going on, all the professionalization, and just breaking away. We're not talking about NIL anymore with this. We're not talking about the transfer portal without sitting out. We're talking about breaking away universities, many of them AAU Research One universities, who were saying, let's break away from everybody else and let's really go pro. That's what it's about. It's not cycling back to this. You're still going to have the transfer portal, all the stuff. This is an entirely different issue. This is everybody saying, the big schools, for lack of a better word, saying, look, let's just not even pretend anymore. Let's forget we're a university for just this particular thing, and let's break away, and by gosh, we'll show everybody what turning pro is all about. Yeah, we're not going to give any money to our volleyball team, and I guess we'll piece together a women's tennis season, but who really cares? They're students just like everybody else at our university, but the heck with them. Where are we going, people?
That's the real world. And when they want to go out and play volleyball and tennis or whatever, they're going to have to do it on their own dime when the university's not picking up the tab.
So why not do it now? So,
after
the college is not the real world. So, why not let them do this and enjoy it?
It's not a fantasy either. Is it? It's preparing you for the real world.
But it's not the real world yet.
Well, it's preparing you for one, and it's giving you life lessons of what you're going to face once you get out of there. So you need to be prepared. You need to be able to learn. Did we ever think a football player would be making $2, $3, $4 million for playing amateur athletics? No.
Never thought so.
And that's what's going on. So I certainly don't see this not happening either.
Well, but you're saying, do we think that was going to happen? If that happens, then all this other stuff can happen too.
I don't think they've got any choice. I think the television networks are going to demand it. They want the best possible product they can put on the screen each and every week. If they're going to spend that kind of money to these conferences, the ones that are the majority of the ones that make the money and get the television ratings, they're going to want them to do something different. And I think these college commissioners and athletic directors are saying, we got to come up with more revenue. How do we do it? Go do our own thing. Let these people fend for themselves.
All I'm saying is that sooner or later, somebody's got to say, hey, hang on now. What are we really? Are we a university? You say, we got to try and do something different. Is do something different just totally blow up?
You know, and if they want to survive and be as financially sound as they can be, I feel like they're going to have to say, we got to go do our own thing, and they got to go do theirs. We're still an institution of higher education. We're still educating our youth here, but we got an athletic entity over here that is, there again, the athletic department raises their own money and does their own thing. They just happen to put the school's name and logo on the uniform. They got to come up, they got to come up with a way to financially be more sound.
Yes, they do. Finally, John and I reached some common ground. They've got to do some things financially that are a little more sound. I got to agree with that.
Yeah,
and the thing to do is
way to do that,
pile on and make it bigger and bigger. And absolutely, you don't have to go to school here. You just have to wear our uniform. Okay,
but who says
that ain't what it's about?
Nobody said anything about them not going to school. I mean, allegedly they're supposed to go. Now, how many times in the last 10 years have you ever heard of a kid, well, he's been suspended because he failed out, or he's not going to school, or whatever, got caught cheating on a test? I hadn't heard anything like that in a decade, because I was wondering, do they go to school? Are they monitored? It's like drug test. Well, they sprung a drug test on them, and 10 of the players got busted for weed. You don't hear that anymore either. So it's totally different from in that aspect of how it used to be. But when I say financially sound, I'm looking for a way for us to generate more income. I'm not looking for ways for them to. I'm looking for ways for us to. I'm not worried about them. They can figure it out themselves.
Is there any limit? Is there anything that is off the table for you? I mean, is there anything that you say, oh, we're not going to do that? I'm not talking that's too much. Or whatever,
give me an example.
Man.
Give me an example. I mean, I'm a capitalist. I'm saying go for it. I mean, let's do it.
And this real world stuff, I mean, they're in college. John always brings up the real world. Personally, I don't think there's all that much difference. Look out for other people, work as hard as you can, all that. That's real world. That's also sophomore year in college. But is there ever a point where you say, whoa, that's too much? Or is it, hey, let's just give it more. Let's just make it bigger.
Give me an example of what too much would be.
I'm asking because I don't think you have anything that would be too much.
Is breaking away of as the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC, if they break away, is that too much?
Yes. That's to me so. It is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. What is too much?
But I don't. I mean, personally, I don't. Would I like to see those four conferences do their own thing, schedule amongst themselves, have their own playoff? Yeah, I would. And I think the TV networks would as well. And I think the Mountain West and the Big East and the Sun Belt and AAC and Conference USA, I think would be better served if they did have a playoff and a national championship with multiple schools in those leagues. Because I don't see a lot of schools in those leagues getting in a 12, 16, or 2014 playoff.
Bob from Pike Road said that would also allow the other D1 programs to form a great league and have a great system to declare a national champion at that level too. It's a win-win situation. Don't even pretend that you care. Don't even act like you give two toots about those. Either of you or Bob, please.
Would you feel like that something was missing if those conferences got together, had their own playoff, more schools and more leagues are engaged and involved, their fan base is more involved, probably do more home and away stuff than having your fans go all over the country? I think that would be a unique aspect. If the Sun Belt and the MAC and all these others, you're playing on campus, more schools, more leagues engaged, more excitement, more attention toward it. That's the positive I see, because I think those leagues are kind of getting forgotten about a little bit, or maybe pushed to the side, because ESPN focuses so much on Ohio State and Michigan and Texas and Alabama and whoever, Southern, whatever. And it's like, well, James Madison was kind of cute, but they got blown away and we've forgotten about them. To me, you're giving more spotlight and more attention to more schools and more leagues if they do their own thing. I think now it's like, well, we're going to let one of them in, but don't really want them, and they're going to be gone in a week anyway. I don't think that's good.
James Madison was not the only team in the college football playoff that got blown out. It wasn't specific.
Well, true. But there again, 23.9 million people saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people saw James Madison on a Friday night.
And that's what's dictating college policy? That's what's dictating university decision-making? Is that right? Is that where we are? Is that what we should be doing?
I'll hit the rewind button. 2000 and I'm 5. I'm close. 5 or 6. Nobody in their right mind thought that an college institution of amateur athletes would pay an employee $4 million. And they were going berserk. And it ended up being a pretty good thing. And a lot of other schools said, maybe we need to do this too. Now we got coordinators making that much. I thought it was insane. Looking back on it, I'm thinking, pretty smart move.
But still,
I don't have a problem with this.
Where did the insanity ebb away? At what point did it not seem so insane anymore? Pay him a lot of money. That makes it seem a lot more sane to me.
Yeah,
I thought it was a dumb move, but hey, it's the dollars.
I don't hear anybody complaining about it now like they did when Saban got hired.
That's because it's the rule of the land. At some point, somebody's going to have to say, all right, let's remember what we're here for.
Okay. All right.
So and this ain't what they're here for.
Who's that person going to be?
That is a great question.
So then when that person stands up into the meeting room and says that, I would think the next person would stand up and say, well, we've got to make more money. And ESPN has got an offer on the table to pay us this amount of money if we do this. I know we got, I know this, it sounds good and it feels good, but this is business. And it's nothing personal. It's business. And we've got to make a sound business decision, not an emotional decision on what college ought to be or what it used to be. This is where it's going, and we don't want to get left on the train platform as the Amtrak's rolling down the track.
But yet again, you're still talking college like it used to be. It's different now. I'm telling you, online stuff is huge now, and it's legitimate stuff.
I'm not going to argue with that.
The whole thing is morphing up. So what if there's a little hand in the back of there, and it's the president of Gonzaga,
okay,
which is a big player, or Wichita State, which is a big player in basketball and baseball.
Okay.
Hey, we've won national championships, or we play for national championships. Georgetown over here has won national championships. We don't play big time football. Where do we go? This is a football thing. You guys figure that other stuff out. The more exclusionary it gets, the more you lose sight of really what you're all supposed to be.
Yeah, I get the losing the side and what college should be, and I'm with you. I grew up in that era, but I just see it heading in a different direction. And everything I've heard about this subject, every decision that's been made with the television networks, with the expansion of the college football playoff, it's all been about football. I don't think any of these decisions have been made about, well, how about basketball and baseball and soccer and volleyball? It's all about football. It drives the ratings. It produces the most money for these schools. Sorry, Gonzaga doesn't have a football team, or Georgetown doesn't, or whatever.
But what do you do with them? I'm
sure they're still going to be making the NCAA tournament, which is the cash cow in basketball.
So you'll allow them to play, in the basketball tournament.
Well, I think you're talking apples and oranges there.
You're either in this breakaway league or you're not, right?
Well, I think when it comes to the college football playoff, they don't want that.
Will there be an NCAA tournament with this breakaway league?
It might not be. But I think
so.
The money,
Gonzaga, heck with you. I know you're good, but
But there again, I think these decisions and discussions are all revolving around football. Not so much basketball. And I
And
think
that's-
it'll be a totally separate thing there. If you play your schedule, your Ken Palm and your ranking and whatever these matrix they come up with, and your schedule strength is worthy of being in the NCAA tournament, then the selection committee is going to put you in. Doesn't matter if you
this is all just
Valparaiso or Virginia or Villanova. Don't matter.
this is all just, if this whole thing is just because you don't want to play Chattanooga in November, or if this whole thing, this whole breakaway thing is because you're sick to death of, I don't know, games like Southern Miss coming in or Samford, is that a good enough reason to
Well,
do
I don't
that?
think that's the entire reason. I think that's
that
part of
all?
it. But I think the television networks want to have their conferences and their teams in a position to maximize their revenue that they're making, or that they're making to pay these conferences, and they want a playoff system full of those four conferences teams. And I get it. You want Vanderbilt in there? Well, it would be nice to see them this year. Maybe not every year, but it would be nice to see them this year. And maybe, hey, you got an Indiana. Could have another one of those type stories coming up in the years to come in one of these big conferences. And they love those kind of things.
You'll have a lot less opportunities for the James Madisons and stuff. If you like the Indiana story, you got to like the James Madison story.
Not so
Cinderella
much.
deal, Cinderella story, comes from out of nowhere, lifts themselves up by the bootstraps.
But there
To me,
again,
that's the same
Indiana's
thing.
beating Ohio State, and they're beating Big Ten teams. I couldn't tell you who James Madison beat. Nothing against James Madison. Yeah. So
If this whole thing is just about football, then
well,
it definitely won't work.
is it not, though? I mean, I think all this discussion is always centered around football.
Yeah, but if it is, and if according to you, it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's all just because you didn't want James Madison in the playoff,
Because
or you
I
didn't
think
want November
football-
games against Mercer.
Yeah, football is the driving force financially.
There's no doubt.
So I think you've got to, put them at the top of the food chain, and everybody else is just, getting what they can get off of that. So yeah, I mean, I don't want you don't want to, kill the goose that lays the golden egg. I know the volleyball team certainly doesn't want to, or the softball team, or men's cross country, because they depend on football.
Right.
revenue.
But the goose that lays the golden egg, it's killing itself. I don't think this is a matter of survival. If you're talking about, it's not going to survive if we don't do this, I don't think that's right at all.
Well, I don't either, but I do think they're looking for all the revenue stream they can get.
Absolutely.
And they're thinking, why are we letting some of it funnel away to areas that we have no interest in? Where we're the big four. We're the guys we're the engine here. They're just the cars. Let them go find their own engine, and we'll do. Is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong for, we want to go do our own thing. Y'all go do your own thing. Do you need us? Can you not make it without us? Is that what we're hearing? So
we're losing,
and we'll go do our thing.
We're in this one little area. I mean, we're still going to do your thing in the other stuff, but we're going to do our own little thing in this one little deal. But the rest of the other things that we want to do, we'll still do it with you, but not this one.
Well, I don't know if they're
to me at all.
I don't know if you're going to schedule basketball games like you have done in the past. Well, baseball. Well, there again, are you playing baseball, basketball, volleyball, whatever sport it may be, just amongst those four power leagues? I wouldn't be opposed to it.
How are you going to fill out the schedule?
It wouldn't hurt, my feelings.
How you?
There again, let's take baseball for instance.
Yeah.
They play, Alabama plays South Alabama, Troy, Jack State, whomever. They do that midweek. Well, you don't do that anymore, and you're like the Atlanta Braves, and I look at their schedule. Wait a minute. They just played the Florida Marlins. They're playing them again? That's what'll happen. You'll have a lot of games. They just played a series with Wisconsin. They just played a series with Oklahoma State. They just played a series with Southern Cal. They're doing it again? Yeah. Oh, okay. Braves fans don't seem to mind.
How are we going to make up the expense ballooning by instead of having Jacksonville State come in just down the road and having Wisconsin come all the way down? You know,
that
doesn't sound like
increased revenue that they'll be getting from their TV partners. That's how that happens.
Hey,
I mean, just look at the Big
you're coming
Ten.
down for one game on a Tuesday to Auburn. Good luck.
I would
And then you
eliminate
got to
that
go
too.
back. You got to go play USC in a conference series this weekend.
I've always wondered about the midweek single game. Well, we'll do that. Let's have a doubleheader. Let's play two. Who said that? Wasn't there a famous major league player that said, hey, let's play two?
John references to his point. He goes with Ernie Banks.
Banks.
You know,
Mr. Cub.
I could not disagree more about this. And Bob from Pike Road says, you never thought we could fly or go to the moon or anything. Just because Neil Armstrong got on the moon doesn't mean we should have a big boy conference, Bob. And again, you lost me whenever you said, oh, this could be so good for the group of 4 teams. They'd have their own. You don't care. You don't care.
It's like the Otis. Hey, the Dow hit over 50,000 Friday. Anybody think that would happen? I certainly didn't.
That's because he's talking about the Dow, because everybody realizes that this conversation ain't going to amount to a hill of beans. Let's talk about something else.
Oh, hey, Gurn Jr., mark, set, copy, get ready, paste. Heard the same thing when we talked about the playoffs.
And whenever we got on the moon and whenever we flew with Kitty Hawk and all that, since all those happened, this is bound to happen.
Monday, February the 9th.
I still believe, as a university employee, that universities should be universities. And at least act like you maintain some of that desire to be a university as the university charter first said that you should be.
Well, I think
instead
that got
of just
blown
a name
out of the water
on the front of a jersey.
Yeah, when we're paying amateur athletes that are 19 years old $4 million and they can hopscotch around and play for 7 different schools in 7 years and all that type business, or sign a G League contract and come back and play. I mean,
which is wrong too.
You know,
now, this is the conversation they've got here on the Chad line. Who's that gal on Fox Business?
Oh, Maria Bartolona. Oh, love her.
Or as Longshore says, that Bartoloma chick.
Now, wait a minute. She's good, but Charles Payne's the best. I love Charles at 1 o'clock. He is awesome.
Let's see. Speaking of business, we've missed about 2 breaks in this deal.
Well, as we go to break, Barry, I'll say this, and I know this isn't going to go over well with you. But of all the crazy things that have happened in college athletics, from paying coaches $4 million a year to paying them $12 million now, to college athletes making $4 or $5 million a season, to college athletes being to jump from school to school to school whenever they want to and continue to play, all that type stuff, that I don't like as much. I would love to see a big boy conference that I've been on the stump lobbying for years. Big boy. It's nothing against all the other conferences, but I think those 4 need to unite, come together, do their own thing.
So for all of that stuff, you know, the transferring and not having to set out and stuff, John doesn't like that. He wishes somebody would just stand up and say, no, that's enough. Now, the other thing that I really like, the big boy conference, nobody better stand up and say that's enough to that, because that's what I want and all. I'm here to say they need to say that's enough to all of it and say, let's not forget who we really are supposed to be.
I mean, when Herb Street, Joel Klatt, you know, those guys are for it, and me, I know it would be nice if they include me in there with these guys when they're talking about it, but it's okay. I get it.
All right.
But if those guys are for it, I'm in.
Let's take a break. First break of the hour comes with 20 minutes left in the show.
No kidding.
It's
wait a minute. Well, the Daily Dog's coming. Just hold on. I'm sorry. I went on a rant there. My bad. Sorry.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. See, we even lost Gurn.
Yeah. He even fell asleep on my rant.
Yeah, geez. All right, so hang on. More to come in just a moment.
I got it right here. The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Valentine's means Marguerite's, and Marguerite's has everything the special person in your life wants. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and all shapes and sizes of diamonds. They have special gifts that will bring happiness and joy for decades and decades. For your convenience, Marguerite's is open 7 days a week. So drop by and pick out a gift that will surprise the Valentines in your life. Marguerite's is located at 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite, local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the river region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Bronco Sports for $8,000 off, Broncos for $10,000 off, or take advantage of the sign and drive lease offer with $399 for 36 or 48 months and 0 down payment.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150 $16,000 off or 0% for 66 months. Even Lightnings $16,000 off or 0% for 75 months, and Super Duties $12,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, back at it about 19 minutes to the top of the hour. A little late on the Daily Dog. Got a little long in our discussion about a comment Kirk Herbstreit made out at the Super Bowl about college athletics. I'll just start with the Super Bowl first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
The world was on Seattle. I get it. A lot of
As
people
they
were
should have
happy.
been, yes.
Catch their ticket. They covered the spread, 4.5. Some had it at 5. We went the other way. Said, the world's on Seattle. We are going to go with New England. And, even though New England was not doing a lot, punting a lot more than they needed to, they were still, within a striking distance, had a puncher's chance, put 14 on the board pretty quick during a short period of time, but wasn't enough. So we missed out on kind of taking a shot with New England.
Okay.
But Friday night, the Phantoms Daily Dog, which was the Detroit Pistons at home hosting the New York Knicks, and Detroit was a 1.5-point underdog.
Chris Berman always called them the New York Knickerbockers.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And I'm thinking, Detroit at home as a dog? Now, I know New York's pretty good. I get it. But it just did not make sense. And you know what? 118-80 doesn't make a lot of sense.
Wow.
118-80. Detroit wins the game outright.
By 38?
Woo. Man.
Jeez.
How about that?
That's easy. Okay. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't think it's luck. But the Phantom has been knocking the NBA out of the park, if I can mix my sports.
Something about the NBA has been well, we don't, there again. It's another day. We appreciate the compliment, but it's what have you done for me lately? It's a tough business here. Tough business. So tonight, Mary, we're going to go back and explore those Detroit Pistons once again.
Let's go back. Let's go way
Yeah,
back.
the Detroit Pistons, who you've told me it is not a winning streak, but their last victory was Friday night against the New York Knicks.
With the aforementioned 118-80 victory, which, by the way, Knicks lose by 38. That stopped about an 8-game winning streak for the Knicks.
True. You're right. Boy, did it. It stopped it big time.
In its tracks. Okay. All right.
So Detroit's been fat and happy, been luxuriating all weekend long about their big win at home by 38. Really not focusing on a little trip they have to make down to Old Carolina, Charlotte, a team that I told you to watch out for about 10 days ago. And I got a little chuckle, a little eye roll when I said, you better watch out for these Charlotte Hornets. I get it. They're 3 games under 500 currently. But look how many games they've won in a row.
They have done well. They are now just 3 games under 500.
Yeah. They have the longest current winning streak in the NBA. They have won 9 in a row, unlike the Sacramento Kings, who have lost 12 in a row. I was wondering why the Pelicans were a favorite tonight till I saw who they were playing.
Yeah. All right.
The Kings, who have lost 12 in a row. So the Charlotte Hornets, Barry, have won 9 in a row. It is true. They traded Colin Sexton. That is a fact. I'm not real sure about the 2 guys they got for him. Must be pretty good because they're continuing to win. But, Barry, here's a team that's won 9 in a row, playing a team that's been off for a couple of days.
They have.
And they're at home catching 3.5 at 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, I'll take them. Yeah, I'll take the Hornets catching 3.5, hosting Detroit tonight at the Spectrum Center.
Duly noted. Is it the Spectrum Center? Yeah, I guess it is. I keep thinking the Spectrum is where the 76ers used to play. Now, one quick note.
Okay.
2 things. Two quick sponsor things.
Sure.
We ran the commercial about Dixie.
Yeah.
Plumbing, heating, and air.
Sure.
Plainsman Preston says, here's a tip for life. Don't ever work on your own garage door. Preston, there's probably a story there, knowing you. There probably is. But I have heard that before.
Yeah.
Just call Dixie.
There's a little pulley lever thing with a handle on it by the track that the chain runs on to move. Don't pull it.
Don't mess with that pulley lever.
Thing.
That ain't for you.
No.
That's for Dixie. That's for them.
Oh, yeah. I learned that
Number
mistake
2.
The hard way.
So one other thing quickly. Sponsor mention.
Yep.
You mentioned the Super Bowl, ending the football season. It's going to take a while for me to get used to that.
Yep.
John, next year, the Super Bowl will be played on Valentine's Day. Should be an interesting stress test for America's relationships. Go ahead and get ready, because you're going to be wanting to watch the Super Bowl. Unless she's a big sports fan, she's going to be wanting to do something nice, go somewhere nice. Go ahead and get in your mind Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
Sure. Yeah.
Because next year when the Super Bowl is on and the little woman is sitting there pouting over there because you wanted to go take her to a nice dinner on the 15th, Marguerite's may just provide the emotional bridge you need to watch the Super Bowl unencumbered.
I think so. I think you're right there.
Marguerite, Vaughn Road, Pepper Tree Shopping Center, 8163 Vaughn Road. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah. God, Valentine's. Really?
Super Bowl on Valentine's Day? What are they thinking?
Is the season starting late? Now, you mentioned like college season. To me, it seems like it's starting later.
Yeah. The way it used to be. When I was growing up, I was born on September 1st.
Yeah.
College never started. College season, football season never started before my birthday.
After Labor Day.
After Labor Day, which is the weekend of my birthday. The NFL starts college football season, we mentioned Auburn, Alabama, Troy, they all begin on September 5th.
Yeah.
It seems late. The NFL gets underway September 10th, which is the Thursday following the opening weekend of the college season. That feels late too. I'm just saying. It's a little bit.
It does for me too, man. That seems a little. And there again, back to kind of our. Is that okay? I mean, is it okay that college football ends on January 25th and the NFL ends on February the 14th? Is that good? Is that, there again, old school? Nah, I don't really like it.
Sooner or later, somebody has got to say no.
Well, who is that? Well, okay.
It ain't
who is
Roger
that person?
Because he ain't saying no very much.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, here we are at a meeting of the college football world, and we're going to hear from Poindexter over here. He has got an opposing view. Poindexter, what do you think? Is anybody going to say no? And everybody's going to kind of look around, and it kind of reminds me of a meeting we had many, many years ago, 40 plus or so. And similar to the scene in Animal House where they show a picture of a new recruit or a possible new member of the fraternity. And no, we didn't throw beer or popcorn at the screen like they did at the Delta House. But I was there, talking up this young man, letting everybody know what I thought about him and how I thought he would be a great addition to the fraternity.
A credit to our organization.
A credit to our organization. And the high points that I listed were that, man, he's a face man. He likes to party. He's a good time, loves to, have a, dancing at the band parties. His girlfriend is really cute. So I kind of went through that spill with about 5 or 6 guys, pretty much used the same reasoning. And then there was this one guy in the back of the room that raised his hand and said, you know what? I've heard you talk about these guys, and you're saying the same thing about every one of them, and I've yet to hear you say anything about their GPA. That's when the beer cans and the popcorn started flowing. GPA? What are you talking about, GPA?
Stop. I was just kidding.
Same thing with this.
Coming up, our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel next with Longshore and McKnight on associated with Yellow Hammer News presented by Bud Light.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Let's see what we got.
Hey, folks, how often do you...
Divers Ford of Montgomery is ranked top 100 in the nation for 8 consecutive years. With deals like these, it's no wonder why.
Well,
all right, let's see what we can do here.
Hey, folks, how often do you...
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway.
All right.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but we can certainly come back and talk.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, here we go. Let me ask you this. You mentioned that the Trojans are going to be on the road a lot this week. And next
matter of fact, I'm leaving.
In a row, you said.
Yep, 4 straight games, all on the road. We'll actually be leaving out in a couple of hours, going to Texas State, and then later on I'll be in Hattiesburg doing the show next week. I'll be here. I'm not going to miss a show, but I'll be here on Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then we're going to be on the road to Monroe, Louisiana, and Mobile, Alabama. Yeah,
Monroe.
Yeah,
man.
I've been in Monroe.
Monroe a lot. There's no doubt. Texas State. I don't know why I ask you that all the time. Where is that located again? And then when you tell me there's a lot of Mexican restaurants named San Marcos, maybe I should remember it that way.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful town. It's a long way away.
In between Austin and San Antonio, you said?
Yeah, sometimes this is one of those rare years. This is Texas State's last year in the league. They're going to the Pac-12 next year, and this is one of those rare years, like the second time it's ever happened, where where I got to travel to Texas State for football.
Yep.
Obviously, we play them at least once a year, every year in basketball because it's home and away.
Yep.
And we go to Texas State for baseball. So I'll be in San Marcos a little bit later on this spring, too. So
Texas State is going to the Pac-12?
With Utah. Well, the Pac-12 ain't the Pac-12 anymore. I mean, you know that. It's Colorado State and Utah State and Texas State and Boise State and I say Fresno State and some of that. So it's
you talking about travel. I mean, Texas State got to fly out to Eugene and Corvallis and whatever other school.
Now they got to fly out to Marshall and Old Dominion and James Madison and all of that. So,
Barry, have you been to the world famous snake farm in San Marcos?
I have.
Whoa.
I have been there. Yes.
No way.
They've got a restaurant attached to it. Believe it or not, I've never had snake, but yeah. Oh, yeah, Washington State and Oregon State are going to be in that Pac-12.
So, is it just a bunch of snakes, or is it like a lot of different species of snakes?
It's a lot of different species of snakes. And I don't mind snakes. I mean, there's some people that have just a fanatical horror of them. I don't mind them, but it seems like everyone they got in there, you know, those little traps that you've got for like possums that you can get, or you can trap somebody, the little thing that's made out of like chain link.
Yeah.
And you got the little, that's all I'm thinking, man, you need to do a little bit better job of securing that snake in there. Cause I don't know. I mean, middle of the night when nobody's paying attention to them, that snake can get out of there if it wants to.
I took my daughters to the San Diego Zoo years ago. Never forget this, and it's just kind of stuck in my mind. Barry, we're going through all the exhibits in the San Diego Zoo, and we get to like the reptile exhibit. And there's this big snake in there, and my daughter gets up to the glass, and the snake's kind of back here. The snake, you know, most of the time you go, they don't move. They just sit there the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, this snake started moving, comes right to the glass where she is and puts its nose up to the glass. And it's like the snake was mesmerized by her. And I'm thinking, ooh, this is kind of creepy. She thought it was cool. You know, oh, look at the snakes coming to see me. I went, I don't really know if I like that or not. It's just giving me the heebie-jeebies ever since.
Well, they just don't, there's not much to look at. You know, overrated part of the zoo, and I love the Montgomery Zoo. It's a very great zoo. Overrated part of the zoo is the bears.
Bears
are over there. They're fat. They're sloppy. They're like, yeah, here we are. What do you know, this is what we do. Well, you know, we don't.
I will say this though, Barry. Zoos. Yeah, okay.
Money just.
They're okay. The coolest actually zoo kind of experience is the one in Disney World. The wildlife. It's
the animal. I know. I've been there.
A souped up Jurassic Park kind of bus looking thing, and they drive you through, and it looks like you're on an African safari. And you'll see the lines up there, and the way they've got it built, there's no way for the lines to come get you because there's a big moat behind a rock that you can't see. But it's pretty cool seeing the lions and the tigers and the elephants and the zebras and the giraffes in what looks like, you know, a really realistic environment.
I'm going to have to give you a picture of me as a small child, black and white.
Yes, thank you, Theotis.
Black and white picture of me and my sister Melanie and my cousin Todd at Gatorland in Orlando. We grew up in Orlando, and the door is a big open gator mouth. I mean, big, like 14 feet and everything. And inside, you got a bunch of gators. And I mean, that's it. They're cold-blooded, right? So, I mean, they're sitting there, they're trying to stay warm. It's Orlando, so it's going to be warm. They ain't getting up and moving around. Basically, you're looking at just, all right. And when you're a little kid, you're like, oh, man, wow, look at that. That's a huge gator and all that. 5 minutes, maybe 8. Then after that,
seen enough.
Look,
did one of those guys get in there and wrestle the gator? You go to a place like that, somebody's got to pull the mouth apart. And
Plains and Preston knows
him and all that kind of stuff.
It's always some old geezer who, you know, that gator could take him easy out there. You know, the best part about it, again, once you've seen a gator, you've seen all the gators. And I love Gatorland because they had T-shirts and we got a cap and all that stuff, was when they feed them, you know, the chickens. You know, it's a whole chicken. And I mean, it's like a chicken like you get from Piggly Wiggly or whatever. They just throw them chickens out there. Those gators handle their business with them chickens.
Did you ever go to
like
Gulfarium in Fort Walton?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. Lived right near there.
Sure.
Oh, well, a little bit too late for the topic wheel.
But I know what our topics are going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got Brian Matthews.
Wheel. That's a mini wheel's what that is. Yeah.
We've got Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. We've got Travis Ryer on YouTube tomorrow. I will be live probably from the Hilton Garden Inn in San Marcos, Texas, if I have.
Hey, take advantage of that free breakfast buffet they have for you.
Yeah, which means we better not get off late tomorrow because, I mean, the breakfast shuts up at 9:15. So we
you got to hustle.
Yeah.
Yes, we got a big day tomorrow. Hey, think about what we talked about today. Barry's side of it, my side of it, big boy conference. Herbie likes it. Just saying.
Hey,
Barry, also Vandy at Auburn tomorrow night. We'll preview that.
Oh, yeah. SEC Network, 6 o'clock on your radio in the driveway as well. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.